Hi, everybody. This is some Google Sheets training for Google Level 1 certification. Some how-tos. You can find Google Sheets, 3 different spots. You can go to sheets.google.com, sheets.new, or you can find it in your Google Drive. So those are the ways to find there. Just some quick overview on vocabulary of Google Sheets. You've obviously got your rows and columns. You've got your formatting toolbar up here. You've got your bar down here that can add sheets. Just by clicking the plus, can add, keep on adding all day. You can view them horizontally, and you can click here to look at them vertically. You can also change your title of the sheet at any time up here, and this shows you your organization of where is the sheet actually at in your Google Drive. You can always click that and change and reorganize it at any time and put it somewhere different if you don't want to just have it hanging out in your Google Drive, because it sometimes can get lost there, especially if it's named untitled. So that's a little bit of vocabulary. Next thing I want to show you is how to do some formatting. So say I type in Google, and I want to really get you to look at that. Some formatting things. I can use my formatting toolbar, click on bold. I can use my fill color to fill in the circle. Say, oh, I can't see it. I can go back and change my color. It kind of pop. I can add in borders and make change the color of the border. I can change the thickness of the border, and then I just click on how I want that border to look. There's all sorts of formatting options here too. So say here on this one, I have a number, and I can put in 10, and I want that to mean $10. So it's not just 10. I can click on the $ here, and now it's $10. If I wanted it in percentage, I got 1,000% now because it's looking at it as a decimal. So I would go 0.1, and then I'm going to switch that to decimal and get 10%. And now I'm like, wait a minute, I don't want those numbers after the decimal. I can decrease my decimal and get 10%. Okay. You can do other formatting options as well. So say I have, I put in the date. I can click here and I can see my other options for formatting, which I can also find here under number. And I can do all that formatting that I see here from the toolbar. I can pick the date option. Now I want the full date. I wanted the year included in there. Maybe I wanted it to look just like that and actually type out the month, but I didn't want to type it. I just wanted to type 9/5. I can fix that to automatically happen with my formatting toolbar. Okay. Next up is how to do some sorting of data and using the functions on there. So say I have this chart of data. I'm going to use some functions. I was wanting to add up all this data, but I don't want to do it one by one, and I pretty much have a built-in calculator here within Google Sheets. So I can click here. This is my function button. Click it. I choose what I'm wanting to actually do. There's all sorts of math functions in here, but I just want to do some adding. The most popular one's probably sum. So I'm going to click on sum, and then I select all the data I want it to add. So I want it to go vertically, and then I just hit enter, and it's added up all that data together, and I have one total number. I can then go to my next row and say I want to say the average of that. So I can click on average again, highlight everything in that column, hit enter, and get the average. Again, if I don't want that decimal, click on it and get rid of that decimal. The average was 4. Maybe I want to then change this. Is a good example again of doing formatting, make it stand out. So that's how we can use some functions. For Google Level 1, you're not going to need to know any real tricky functions other than probably sum and average, but anything you're probably going to need is going to be right here. Now, if I want to sort this data, say I pick a row, and I want to sort everything in this section. I'll highlight what I want to sort. I can then click on data and click sort range. I'm sorting everything in that column A. that I've highlighted from smallest to largest. I can click sort, and now I have all that way. I can also do it in reverse order, depending on whatever I want to do. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do and show you is how to make a chart from that data. So I'm going to put that back to how it was so we can see our progression. So say I just want to check to see how these students grew from one test to the next. So I'm just going to pick these first few students and select those first two tests. I'm then going to go to Insert and go down to Chart, and I can make that chart automatically in there. I have a comparison of Pig in a Wig versus Sam Come Back, which are two stories that I had some first graders do, and I wanted to see their chart. I can get some suggestions on how I want that to look. I can also put that in line graphs. I can put that in whatever kind of chart that you prefer and check it out. Okay, you should be able to see them side by side. Another thing you're going to need to know is how to do trend lines, which you can find in customizing and going to your series. I want to apply that to series. Excuse me, I had to change the chart type. So on some charts you can't do trend lines, some you can. So here in line graph, I can then click on trend line. It's a very faint color, but you can see, hey, they are going up in their scores. They are improving. So trend lining will probably pop up in Google Level 1 assessment. So you want to make sure you know to find that within your chart by double clicking, looking at customize, go down to series, and you'll find trend line in that section. Now, the other thing you might need to know is how to move this out of the middle. At any time, you can obviously click it and move it around, but I want to move it to its own sheet. I can click on the three dots here, and I'm going to move it to its own sheet, which will then move it down to the bottom. It doesn't say sheet, it says chart, and I've got everything I need right here, and I can still change that data back on the original sheet, and it would change my data on the chart. You can publish that chart to the web. Say you want to put it on your website. You want to share that with parents, whatever you'd like to do. You can download it as a JPEG or a PDF. You can do whatever you need to do with it. Now, the last thing I'd like to show you that you'll probably need to know about Google Sheets for Level 1 training is how to protect that data. So say I want to share this with everybody, but I don't want them to mess with this one chart. I don't want them inputting data. Here, I've got it like I want it. I can right click on that and click on protect the sheet. From here, I can say, hey, I just want the sheet, or maybe I just want that section. I don't want anybody touching. You can do range or sheet and you name it, whatever it might be, set your permissions, and then you can fix it where you're the only person that can do it. Or maybe you do custom and you can type in the email of just you and a colleague can work on that one section and nobody else can change it. They can look at it. They can edit parts of it, but they can't edit that part of it. So that's how to protect your sheet. And then the last thing you can do is share and collaborate. So we can find that up here in the top right corner, clicking share and typing in the emails of whoever you're going to collaborate with. You can also click advance and make sure it's right now on private. We can fix that to specific people if you don't want everybody to see it, or you can fix it to where anybody with the link or anybody within your domain can see it and share with you. So that's a few quick how-to tips for Google Sheets. There's more advanced stuff with Google Sheets, but this is just enough to get you through Google Level 1 training and assessment. So good luck, and I'll see you in our next how-to video.